How fast can you send a message? Right now, you can send a text, an email, a picture, a video, and it gets to the other side of the world instantly. It's a kind of magic. But what did we do before all this? How did you connect with someone? Right now, across a vast distance. It's easy to think that for most of history, we were just disconnected. But that's not true. The human drive to connect is relentless. We have always found clever ways to bridge the gap. Today, we're going to look at some of the amazing and now totally obsolete technologies that connected the world long before the internet was even a dream. The first true revolution, the one that really changed everything, was the telegraph. Before the 1830s, a message could only travel as fast as a horse, a train, or a ship. If you wanted to send news from New York to London, it took weeks. The telegraph changed that overnight. It sent electrical pulses over a wire. But it wasn't voice. It was a code. A system of dots and dashes. Morse code. You needed a skilled operator on one end to tap out the message, and another on the other end to listen to the clicks and translate it back into words. But suddenly, a message could cross a continent in minutes. It was the first time in human history that communication was faster than transportation. It was, truly, the first instant message. So, the telegraph was great, but you needed that specialist, that Morse code operator. The next big step was to make it easier. Enter the telex machine. This was the printed email of its day. Imagine a big, clunky typewriter. You'd dial a number on a rotary dial to connect to another telex machine, anywhere in the world. And when you typed a message on your keyboard, it instantly printed out on a piece of paper on their machine, hundreds or even thousands of miles away. It was amazing. Businesses loved it. It was faster than mail, more formal than a phone call, and you had a printed physical record of the conversation. For decades, in the 20th century, this was how global business was done. But of course, the real dream wasn't just text. It was hearing a human voice. When the telephone was invented, it was pure magic. But the early system was nothing like today. You couldn't just dial a number. In fact, most phones didn't even have dials. You'd pick up the receiver, and a real person would answer. This was the switchboard operator. They were the original human connectors, the heart of the entire network. You'd say, "Hello, operator. Please connect me to Mr. Smith on Main Street." And that operator, usually a woman, would physically take a cord on her giant switchboard and plug it into the jack that connected to Mr. Smith's line. If you were calling another town, she'd connect you to that town's operator, who would then connect you. They were the living, breathing search engine and router, all in one. But the drive to connect is even older than electricity. For thousands of years, we used one of the most reliable messengers around, the homing pigeon. It's not a joke. You'd attach a tiny, written message to a trained pigeon, and it would instinctively fly back to its home base, sometimes covering hundreds of miles. It was the fastest way to get a message out of a besieged city or send a critical piece of news. And what if you needed to send a message really fast, but didn't have a wire? In the 1790s, They built semaphore lines. These were chains of towers, each one in sight of the next. Each tower had big, movable wooden arms. An operator would move the arms into different positions to signal a letter or a code. The operator, at the next tower, watching through a telescope, would see the signal, write it down, and then repeat it for the next tower down the line. A single message could travel hundreds of miles in just a few hours. It was a mechanical, visual internet. From pigeons, with tiny backpacks, to visual telegraphs on towers, to human switchboards connecting our voices, and clunky telex machines printing messages across oceans. These technologies might seem strange and slow to us now. They're obsolete, but they're not just museum pieces. They are the foundation. They're the proof that our need to connect, to share, and to bridge the distance is one of the most powerful forces in human history. They are the forgotten threads that wove our modern, hyper-connected world together. To read daily fact-based articles, head over to www.zentara blog. And don't forget to visit our Zentara blog YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe or follow this podcast on Spotify for daily episodes that will expand your minds.